Lots happening when it comes to the market. It is impacted by the global cues coming in, the warfare, as well as the global, the border de-escalation talks, as well as the global, as well as the tension out there. As far as F&O expiry is concerned, that's also weighing heavy on the markets right now. So that's the picture on the market. But what we are focusing on is the big story and the development that has just kicked in. That is, Future Retail is in partnership with 7-Eleven. Let me take it straight across to Priya to give us more details on that. Priya, help us understand, how is this going to help Future?
Well, absolutely. It's official. In fact, 7-Eleven will be making a foray into India through Future Retail. In fact, in line with what we have been reporting, 7-Eleven has signed a master franchise agreement with Future Retail subsidiary to develop and operate 7-Eleven stores within India. Now, the first 7-Eleven store is expected to open in 2019. And as a part of this overall strategy, the new master franchise plans to build new stores as well as convert existing stores to the 7-Eleven brand. So essentially what this means is that several of the small stores, as far as Future Retail are concerned, will be converted to the 7-Eleven brand. As far as the product assortment, there will be internationally popular products, beverages, snacks, and fresh foods that will be available as a part of this convenience chain offering. And, at this point in time, Future Retail has about 1,500 small stores, but it's looking at an ambitious rollout plan of about 10,000 stores in the short to medium term. So essentially, this is in line with the overall strategy. As far as the revenue implications are concerned, this is something that we are still ascertaining. But of course, on an overall basis, it seems to be a good deal for Future Retail, as it would help it expand its revenue pie as far as the small stores are concerned as well.
Congratulations first up to you. You've been on top of this story. A couple of days ago is when you alerted us that this is likely to happen on Feb 28th, and Feb 28th this has happened. Hang in there. We'll come back to you for more details as well. But meanwhile, we have Abneesh Roy of Edelweiss joining us on the phone line. Abneesh, what do you make of this development, especially given the fact that 7-Eleven is one of the largest convenience stores in the world? Close to around 65,000 outlets is what it has. And now it's coming to India with Future Retail. How do you view this for Future Retail?
So I think clearly it's a positive development for Future Retail because clearly this is an iconic brand in most of the other markets. Through different franchisee, we see the stores, and there will be know-how available in terms of running these convenience store and also technology transfer, etc., which will definitely help. Future Retail and Future Group has very good understanding of the Indian consumer and the rental market. So I think it will be a win-win. But if you see in terms of convenience store, Kirana store, there is 9 million outlets, which is a competition which has got almost zero rental, zero salary cost, because it's the same owner who is running the shop in most cases. So it will be challenging, because in the past also we have seen many other players test this format, but clearly Future Retail will have an edge because of their own understanding. Easy Day has been working on it, although the performance has been below expectations of the management itself. The profitability has been pushed back, but they do have understanding of what doesn't work, and what works clearly that will be brought to the table by 7-Eleven. So I think it's a good development. We have a buy on Future Retail. We have a target price of around 587, but definitely interesting, I would say.
Fair point, Abneesh. Execution will be key for this, because Easy Day hasn't made money as well. We have Priya with us. Priya, you have any questions or further details that you have?
Well, absolutely. I have some questions, actually. So when we spoke to Mr. Biyani last, he said that it will take about 2 years for small stores to turn profitable. So just a question for you, Abneesh. Just run through what kind of margin or structure should these small stores really work with? Because the first store will be opened over the next 6 months. But is this really going to translate into, what kind of revenues this is going to translate to? Any indication on that front?
No, I think we'll have to wait for the deal contours, but clearly in this, private label will be critical for success globally. When I go to a 7-Eleven store, I see very large percentage of sales coming from its own private label. In private label, obviously, you have a right to win. The gross margins are higher, and because it is having low ad spends, it is good for the customer also. So I think that will be key. What will be the deal structure, that we would need to wait, but this will require investment in terms of brand, because 7-Eleven is a great brand internationally, but in India, very few people will be knowing it. So there will be investments required on the brand in terms of technology, and if they are going from a 1,500 stores to a 10,000 stores, obviously this will require a lot of investments for the back end also. So I think margins, etc., we would need to wait for the 2 years time frame for the break even, I would say.
Absolutely. There's a very valid point that you make, what they do with their private label, because remember, I mean, if you take a look at Future Consumer, in that would be in focus as well as the FMCG arm of the company. If it has more stores to sell, there is a case of higher revenues for Future Consumer itself. In fact, you spoke about going abroad. I was in Canada last week. It's impressive what Costco has done with Kirkland. So let's see whether that comes by in India or not. Meanwhile, we also have Arvind Singhal of Technopack Advisors joining us on the phone line. Arvind, first up, do you see any regulatory hurdles to this deal, especially given that FDI and multi-brand retail is not allowed, but this has come in under perhaps the franchise royalty agreement route? And do you think this would lead to other players coming to India as well?
Absolutely correct. I think it has been quite a while since we have seen a global large player come into India. Our policy has been quite discouraging for international retailers. So coming through the franchise route is probably the only way they can come to India. And most certainly, I think it will enthuse a few other companies as well across the globe. Driven by the faction of the fact that the consumer market in India has been very buoyant. And from a company's business investors' point of view, the valuations also have been very, very attractive. Franchising is the route to come to India right now and hope that there is some change in the policy some years down the line. The franchise agreement could be converted into some kind of an equity investment. This would attract, therefore, other people also to look at India right now to, once again.
All right.
All right. Thanks so much, Arvind, Abneesh, as well as Priya.
No, just a couple of points that I'd like to make on this. The first one is that what happens to the Amazon deal? Because now there are reports that suggest that Amazon has restarted looking at future retail. So in light of this development, what happens to that? And secondly, more than future retail, one has to watch out for Future Consumer as more stores come and get added. What happens to the FMCG arm of Future Group, which is Future Consumer? Do they sell their brands under this agreement as well? That stock is higher by about 1.2%. Let's see what happens once the first store opens.
Right. Thanks for that, Mangalam. And with that, we'll shift our focus back to the market as well as the top story. That's after the break. So it's time for a short break. But up next, we'll get you the latest on Indo-Pak border tensions when we return. Stay tuned.
To Huan, Rajasthan seemed something like this.
Who's that? Morris. Morris who?
Morris Garages.
So do you build garages?
No, we build cars for the future.
तो क्या किया तूने कहाँ का पिया तूने कहाँ का पिया
मिल्टन कुछ नया सोचते हैं
Tap to pay with Visa. Just like that. No PIN or signature required. Up to ₹2,000.
Heavy duty, long lasting, highest selling draw runners. Hetic telescopic channels for your draws. Load capacity 45 kg. Lifetime functional warranty. German quality. Indian price. Hetic fittings. German quality you can trust.
हो तो नहीं सकता छोटे पर हुआ तो है ना भाई साहब एक बार सूरज पश्चिम से निकल सकता है मगर आर्थिक आधार पर आरक्षण इस देश में मिलना नामुमकिन है
भाई साहब नामुमकिन अब मुमकिन है वरना कभी इस देश के संविधान में ऐसा सुधार हुआ था कि किसी का आरक्षण हटाए बिना बाकी गरीबों को 10% मिले हा?
नहीं तो
यही तो
मतलब अब गरीबों की जीत भी मुमकिन है
सही कहा भाई साहब नामुमकिन अब मुमकिन है
जिसकी जैसी चॉइस सबकी मिलेगी चॉइस प्रॉपर्टी की कुंडली पूरी सारी कंस्ट्रक्शन की क्या तैयारी छोटी बड़ी हर जानकारी जिसकी जैसी चॉइस
Log on to Magic Bricks.
साइबर का चोर गया पैसे लूट कर नो फिकर हम हैं guarantee yours फ्लाइट डीले से ट्रिप का मजा ना जाने दीजिए हम हैं guarantee yours
बजाज एलियांज जनरल इंश्योरेंस में हम आपकी रोज की छोटी बड़ी चिंता का सलूशन देते हैं।
guarantee yours
Well, it's up 10,800 for the Nifty. Individual stocks, they're at the low point of the day. Eicher Motors is at the low point of the day. Remember, tomorrow is the first of a new month where we get auto sales data coming by. So Eicher Motors is the stock that should come up for you. Along with that, we have Hero MotoCorp also lower as we speak. But we shift focus back to the tensions that continue between India and Pakistan. The IAF Wing Commander Abhinandan Varthaman has been captured by the Pakistani forces after fighter jets of both nations engaged in an air battle yesterday. Parikshit Luthra joins us with the latest. Parikshit, what are you gathering right now? What are the latest developments on the same?
Well, we have been speaking to our sources in the government and in Pakistan, and these are very highly placed sources in Pakistan who are now telling us that they are willing to release Wing Commander Abhinandan, but that is subject to ending of hostilities between the two countries. They're saying India has to be ready to talk peace. They have to come to the negotiating table. They have to bring down the tensions, de-escalate, and then they will be ready to send back Wing Commander Abhinandan. So that's a big message coming from Pakistan, saying that India needs to de-escalate immediately. The Indian government so far has not responded. They've not responded to Pakistan's Imran Khan's speech yesterday. Remember, Imran Khan yesterday had said that war is not going to help anybody. Both sides must de-escalate, and once a war breaks out, it won't be in anyone's control. So no top official of the government has responded so far. We are hearing that informal negotiations have been happening since yesterday. We have urged the Pakistani side to respect the Geneva Convention of 1949, treat Wing Commander Abhinandan very, very humanely, and make sure that his rank, his honor, his nationality is respected, and he gets all the rights that the Geneva Convention gives to prisoners of war. And as per the Geneva Convention, a POW has to be returned on the ending of hostilities. So this is exactly what Pakistan is saying. They're saying we are ready to return him, but first peace must return, and India must be ready to talk peace and bring down tensions as well. India also releasing pictures of that F-16 that was brought down by one of our MiG-21s yesterday. This aircraft fell in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. We can see a Pakistani officer, a commanding officer of the 7th Northern Light Infantry of Pakistan, inspecting the scene of crash. These are the remains of the F-16 that were brought down by an R-73 missile by an Indian Air Force pilot yesterday. And they are saying this is proof that Pakistan also suffered losses in that. We have been seeing skirmishes at the border, minor ceasefire violations here and there, no major hostilities over the last 24 hours or so. Let's just hope peace prevails and we get some positive news on Wing Commander Abhinandan very soon.
Oh yes, that's the hope right here. Thanks so much, Parikshit, for getting us the latest on the tension that is escalating at the border right now. But it's also gaining importance when it comes to the global scenario, because US President Donald Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un cut short their meet in Vietnam. Remember, addressing the press briefing, well, President Trump says that it was a good thing to not be signing anything on the Indo-Pak tensions. He says that India and Pakistan tensions hopefully will come to an end.
We have, I think, reasonably attractive news from Pakistan and India. They've been going at it, and we've been involved in trying to have them stop. And we have some reasonably decent news. I think hopefully that's going to be coming to an end. It's been going on for a long time, decades and decades. There's a lot of dislike, unfortunately. So we've been in the middle trying to help them both out, see if we can get some organization and some peace. And I think probably that's going to be happening.
All right, and following the brief closure of the Srinagar airport amid heightened tension between India and Pakistan, several hoteliers in Kashmir offer free accommodation to the stranded tourists in the valley. These include prominent hotelier Mushtaq Chaya, the Kashmir Hotel and Restaurant Association, among other hoteliers.